What's up, guys? NightChasers here. You're shy.
No.
What's up, guys? NightChasers here. And in this video, we're boosting the Civic. David stopped by. This is the guy I sold the Civic to. And he ordered a complete eBay turbo kit. And we're going to put that on this car. We got to get a few things, and we're going to have to do some work to it to get it to fit and everything like that, of course. But hell yeah, we're going to... It's cool to see it back. I'm glad I sold it to someone that's going to work on it.
Yeah, so
Sick. So, got the exhaust off, the oil pan off, and we got the intercooler mounted. We're working on fitting all the intercooler pipes, and that's all the parts. We're clocking the turbo. We'll clock it a little bit, so that's what we're working on. Once we get the turbo clocked and set right and tightened up, we're gonna mount it to the engine, and then hook up all the intercooler piping, and then we're trying to figure out exhaust stuff. Exhaust doesn't fit the greatest. If we can't get it to fit the greatest, we're probably just gonna do bumper exit right out the side. So once we get the turbo mounted, intercooler piping mounted, we'll work on the exhaust, drill out the oil pan for the oil drain, and then run the oil feed line, and then mount the wastegate and the blow off and the fuel pressure regulator and all that, the catch can and stuff. So yeah, you get it? So everything's hooked up besides need to make a drain for the oil pan. Put the oil pan on, put the oil filter on, put the exhaust on. We're going to make a pipe for the wastegate, hook up some vacuum lines, and she'll basically be done. I have a set of 450 injectors we might put in it, and where's that fuel pressure regulator at? Is it up here? Oh, fuel pressure regulator and a fuel pump, and then we're gonna have to figure out a way to tune it, chip tune or something else. But for now, it's on. All right, so I had to run to a quick car meet real quick to sell some stickers, and while I was gone, Jeremy and David finished up a few more things, and we just primed it, all the oiling. So we're about to start it. So start it. Hopefully. Ooh. Might have to give it a little throttle. Hell yeah! I don't see any leaks. No fuel leaks either? That sounds sick. Well, that's good. There's no drips underneath. Oh, fuck. I just stood, oh, monster everywhere. Fuck. I just stood up into the table. Whoops. Fuck. I accidentally stopped recording out of excitement. I hit the record. Alright, so I ran out of memory. So that's why the video is all going to be kind of choppy. But anyway, back to the Civic. Alright, so now that we can hear, next is injectors, fuel rail, fuel pump, and then you're getting a wideband Sunday.
yes, I am.
Yep. So we'll put the wideband on it, run the boost gauge, injectors, rail, fuel pump,
And then a chip tune.
and then a chip tune. But with the injectors, rail, and all that, it'll be fine to drive around.
Just stay off boost.
Yeah, stay out of boost. Maybe tap boost a little bit, but not much, you know. And then just get a chip tune now until you go standalone or something.
Yeah.
And then she'll be fucking ripping. Sick.
Hell yeah, I'm stoked, dude.
Dude, same. Alright, so got the injectors out. The old rail. David had to take the AEM rail up to Menards to get some plugs for the rail. There's 2 ports that we're not using. The 450s right here. Black tops. We got them out of my old intake from the 300 because I'm going bigger injector. I welded up wastegate pipe for them. There it is. So the pipe will go down and then come out right here. Boop. And got a fuel pump. This is a 450. I don't think we're going to use this one. I think we're going to use the 255, which he has with him to try to find a fuel sock for it. He's also getting some fuel line because we need some fuel line. So that's the update on the Civic. And over here, we put new shift cables on his car out of my car, the old cables, because his snapped. We had some intake laying around, so we made one work. And now we're fixing his exhaust because it broke. So, staying busy. Stay working on cars. Alright, so David got the 255 pump in. We went to go put the AM fuel rail on with the 450s, and we ran into a couple problems. The 450s are EV1 connectors, and I didn't know that the Civics weren't. I'm new to Civics, so we had to get some EV1 connectors to wire in, and the banjo bolt for the factory harness is smaller than the fuel inlet for the AEM, so we're gonna have to find a way to hook the fuel up to the AEM rail. And so we're done for tonight.
Wideband comes in tomorrow.
Yep, the wideband comes in tomorrow, so does the V-band, so we can get the exhaust done, the wideband in. We gotta finish the boost gauge. Get fuel to the rail, injector clips, and at that point it's just tune.
Doing it. Got the money for the tune.
We gotta get the tune. So yeah, that's it for tonight. Alright, so we're dealing with an oil drain problem. It was leaking. So we just got to unbutton everything up and quick steeled the fitting. Well, I guess we can see. Well, let me check and see if it's even hard yet. Ooh. It's not bad. So we were having an issue with a bunch of oil coming out of the turbo and smoke. Like, it was just like, we thought the seals are bad in the turbo. It's a brand new turbo. We thought the turbo was bad. We realized something. This catch can isn't really a catch can.
There's moisture in there, though. Not much, but it could be from anything.
It's oh yeah, there's a lot.
You're a retake.
When you cap it, no, there's a lot of moisture in there. But when you cap that, it pressurizes the valve cover, and well, it's pressurizing the crankcase and everything, so it's pushing the oil out of the drain and into the turbo.
Backfeeding it.
Yeah.
That's what it's fucking doing.
Yep. So, and we heard it. We heard it hissing. We heard something hissing every time we shut the car off, and then we realized that it was that. So he left it off because it's just a breather at this point. The fancy.
Fancy breather, baby.
Yeah. And he took it for a drive while I was gone for a little bit. And came back, and well, it's not blowing any smoke out the turbo. There's not a bunch of oil dripping out of it. The drain isn't leaking anything, so I think you're set. All we're waiting for at this point is,
My tune's going.
yep, the tune. We got to put the pump that we put in it was bad, so I got another 255 we got to put in it.
Injectors.
We got to change the injector clips, put the 450s in it. He's getting the banjo bolt for the AEM rail, and then his chip tune. He's got a chip tune now until he goes standalone. So then at that point, once you get your chip tune in and the injectors on, the rail on, fuel pump in, you're ready to do some pulls.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm geeked, dude.
Same. I wish I would have went for a ride with it.
Dude.
Alright, so David just took the Civic for the first voyage of it being boosted. And I was all out of E85. Hold on, it's kind of loud. I was all out of E85. So I had to run all the way to a gas station that had it. Fill up a can, come all the way back, fill it up. So I'm like super late to the car meet. And David's already there, so we're heading to the car meet right now. Lighting.
You got a mount kit? I'll just do the light. Hold on.
I'm broke, man. It's here.
Damn.
Just gotta pop the hood. It's here.
It's here.
It's boosted. Did it
good, dude.
Did it do good on the way here?
Oh yeah.
You didn't get into boost, right?
Nope.
Good.
Smelled some shit. And I'm like, man. Thought I was melting that, but no, dude, it went away. Good.
No leaks.
No leaks.
No leaks. That's good. Good. What was the AFRs at? Normal.
15.
See, when you're cruising, it's fine.
When I was about 70 mile an hour in fifth gear, it was like 12.
What was your boost
5.
gauge saying?
Vacuum on 10.
Oh, okay, perfect. So you weren't like cruising in boost or nothing.
Yeah.
Sweet, it's here. It made it.
Could be ripping this weekend.
Right, once you get that tune in. Zach. Why is everyone parked all the way over here?
I don't know. We came in like, this is backwards.
Yeah, I know, right? Usually we're parked over there in the lighting.
Here, I'll just be the lights.
Yeah. Alright, so David got the injector clip swapped. The 450s are in and the AM rail is in. We're just trying to figure out a fitting for the fuel inlet. Yeah, this is what came in the mail. So, trying to figure out how this is going to work. Because there's the stock Honda stuff. The Honda banjo bolt, the factory one, this one, is too big. So it won't work. So we got to figure out the fuel inlet, and then we're waiting for my buddy to get home so we can drop off the ECU and the. Is this it?
Yep.
Sorry, battery died. Anyway, he got the chip and the socket kit, so we got to drop the ECU, the chip, and the socket kit off so we can get all that taken care of. So Scotty, a buddy of mine, socketed his ECU and put the chip in. So the ECU's set, and he gave us a fitting for the banjo for the AEM rail, but we decided just to not deal with it right now in case there's leaks and stuff. So that's gonna have to go on in a little bit. But he put the stock rail on so we can go for a rip, get a little ripper.
Get a little ripper.
Yep. It's it started raining. It wasn't raining at all today. And then I got a message saying the ECU's done. And right when I got that message, it started raining. Can't see it. I don't even know why I'm out here trying to show you. But so Spin City. But we'll be able to get in some boost. So we're about to go for a rip. Hold on. And then Scotty gave us this sweet sticker. He had it on the back of the Scotty. Quick little lesson. Scotty used to own this head, and it was on his CRX, boosted CRX. I think he said like 24 pounds, the 85. And he actually took me for riding that thing one day, and that thing ripped. And on the back of his car, when we went there to drop off the ECU, he had this sticker on the back And we're like, dude, that is a sweet sticker. So he was like, you want one? And he gave us one. So this has got to go on the Civic. I don't know if it'll chirp third, but we're gonna try, right?
We're gonna fucking try for sure.
Update. Fuck the exhaust.
Fuck the exhaust.
We're ripping the whole exhaust
coming
off.
straight up too.
Yep, we're just gonna take the whole exhaust off. We're fighting it. We don't care about having full exhaust. We're in Michigan where they don't care. No emissions. They do and they don't. So we're just gonna hood dump
throw
it.
a Cadillac converter on the end of that fucker, dude.
On the end of the hood dump. Passes emissions. Yep, we're about to just pull everything off. Well,
Yes.
makeshift exhaust for now.
So, I mean,
Because fucking
well, I don't know
exhaust.
why you guys keep saying I'm close to you. I'm fucking 25 minutes from you. I'm 15 minutes
Let
from
me change the wheels. Because we're sick of it rubbing.
No, I'm further.
So,
if anything, I'm
get rid of the
further
camber.
away from you guys in my house.
And we're about to go for a ride.
My house to yours.
Yeah. Alright, so just did the first pull. We're only at 4 PSI right now. It's getting a little lean. We don't know if it's the fuel pump or what it is. Maybe it's just the wideband, because we have an exhaust leak at the V band, and plus this is kind of close to the tip. So yeah, stock regulator, stock rail. But we're at 4 PSI, and it's definitely a lot quicker than it was. It was worth it. So we just got to figure out some fueling issues and start turning the boost up as we figure out fueling issues. So super stoked. It's getting closer and closer every day.
Yeah.
Alright, so we did the 4 PSI pull, and she did good. I think that's the end for this video. It's probably getting pretty long. So stay tuned for the next video. In the next video, we're gonna be upping the boost, figuring out some fueling, probably swapping injectors, fuel pump, and getting the exhaust figured out so the wideband works better. And then maybe taking it to some Mexico and some car meets. So right, David? We're gonna be going to some car meets and doing some Mexico. Doing some Mexico racing.
Some Mexico racing.
That's it.
Get it.
Alright, cool. Alright, so stay tuned for part 2 of Boosted Civic. The Kanjo Boosted Civic. So like, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and check the description for links to Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff in my sticker store. So see you later.